Hi, hello, and welcome. This is Daniela Weiss. Let's get started. Welcome to today's presentation. What I'm going to talk about today is the 5 shifts my clients make so they can get rid of a host of symptoms and diseases such as hormone imbalance, autoimmune disease, and lymphatic disease. And they can decide to get off their medication and overall press reset on their body, emerging like phoenix out of the ashes. And there are 5 shifts you need to know if you want to be able to press reset on your health and remove all the things from your body that stand between you and your health. And let's face it, a lot more. I will share with you what the pharma industry prefers that you do not know, and some doctors even, and naturopaths as well. Talk about health. So we're going to talk about health and vitality with the help of our powerful nature instead of manipulated chemicals and isolated substances. And it's great that you're here because what is happening to us when we have a chronic disease has frankly become unacceptable. And right now it's impacting your future, your life, and there are just too many people hurting today. So let's dive right in and talk about what you came here for. Let's start with this. Who is this for? This is for people who struggle with serious health issues and who really want to know and learn the truth and get on a path of vitality and glowing health and energy. If you've been diagnosed with and are experiencing any of the following, you're in the right place. Autoimmune disease, any hormone imbalance, and lymphatic problems. Diseases such as thyroid or adrenal diseases, Hashimoto's, Graves', hypothyroidism, hyperthyroidism, Sjogren's, lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, chronic fatigue, exhaustion, no energy or burnout even, brain fog, depression, anxiety, mood swings, unexplained weight loss or weight gain, premature aging, hair loss, acne, skin rashes and allergies, itching, chronic sinus issues as well. You will very often have these in combination with seemingly unrelated things, such as leaky gut or IBS, candida, sibo, constipation and diarrhea, food intolerances, and yet this is all linked together. So we're talking about all the things you go to the doctors with, and they give you a new medication every time you go there because this is not something allopathy knows how to deal with. And often you're told it's medications for the foreseeable future, or there is no cure, but you can suppress it with a medication. Or worse, it's all in your head. Your blood work is fine, go home. If you're frustrated, desperate, and confused, and you've had enough, then you must pay very close attention today because this will be the best 45 minutes you will have spent on your health in a long while. If deep down you know that there's got to be something better for you than chemicals that don't heal anything, and that there has to be a natural solution for yourself, or indeed someone you love, you are in the right place. And if you're someone who refuses to be a victim of one modality, that is allopathy, you're taking a giant step forward by being here today. So let me just take 2 seconds to introduce myself so you know who I am and why the heck you should even listen to me. My name is Daniela Weiss, and I'm the founder of Reset Your Body. I'm 51 years old. I'm a nutritional therapist, I'm a coach, I'm a healer, a clinical hypnotherapist, a cognitive behavioral therapist, a psychotherapist, and a strategic intervention coach. And what's more, and what's really important, is that I'm a recovered adrenal, thyroid, and gut wreck. So I've been through some, if not all, what you're going through right now. And I have a very long list and history of health problems that started when I was only 6 years old. And I'm now actually healthier than ever before. And I've helped hundreds of people since. And I've left behind a successful corporate career years ago because I wanted to finally turn my passion into my full-time activity and do this work full-time instead of just part-time, which means I've been able to help more people get out of pain and being severely unhealthy like I have been for many years. I practice in 4 languages and I speak 6, and I work with clients internationally. What I do is the quickest, most effective, least drawn out, natural way to cleanse the body of all the things that keep it in a state of not being able to heal itself. It is the best way to rebuild, regenerate at cell level, and truly press reset for long-term success. Why? Because I focus on removing the cause so the body can heal itself. And I do this in my coaching program, and I'm going to share the necessary shifts all my clients have made and that are a prerequisite in this masterclass today. My mission in life is to help my clients achieve health naturally, sustainably, holistically, without any gimmicks or superficial quick fixes that never, ever last. And I tell the truth about what is going on, what has happened, and what needs to happen to get out of your health nightmares. And I will talk about what your body needs so it can repair glands, organs, the intestines, and restore hormone balance without needing ongoing medications or chemicals again. In fact, I always work on getting people off any and all medication or supplements as we get rid of the symptoms. And what's more, we work on the lymphatic system, which is so crucial. And I'll talk some more about that a little later. But enough about me, let's talk about you and why you're here. So in the next 45 minutes, I'm going to talk about what you really need to know and do to overcome thyroid malfunction, adrenal fatigue, Hashimoto's, Graves', Sjogren's, and other autoimmune diseases, a backed up lymph system, and hormone imbalances with all the associated symptoms that go hand in hand, even if you've lived with them for 2, 3, 5, or sometimes even 20 years. You will learn the best strategies to find the best things for feeding your body, your mind, and your soul when you are in dis-ease. And we'll talk about medications and supplements and what they do and what they do not do. And also you will see what you can and need to do so you do not end up in one or more of the current sinister statistics. One of the 20 million people, and rising, in America alone that suffer from thyroidism and parathyroidism, and that's both men and women. One of the 80 million Americans that are estimated to suffer from adrenal fatigue, or one of the 80% of women that have a hormone imbalance. Or if you're going through menopause, one of the 20% who have a thyroid disorder. Or if you're a man over 40, 1 out of 4 who have low testosterone and erectile dysfunction. Or 1 out of the 10 women who have PCOS. 1 of the 40 million people who suffer from IBS, or the 15 million who are estimated to have leaky gut. And 1 in every 130 people has celiac. 1 of 4 Americans suffer from insulin resistance. And there are different estimates on autoimmune disorders, anywhere between 23 and 50 million people, depending on what is actually classified as autoimmune, which we haven't really agreed on yet. However, did you know that autoimmune disease is now in the top 10 causes of death? You do not have to be one of the statistics I mentioned here. So, what's the difference between those who find their way out of disease and all the symptoms that come with it, and those who don't? What are the winners doing that you are not? The main thing is that the winners stopped looking for information and opted to be courageous and actually look for truth and transformation. And I will talk more about that too. So today I will teach you the shifts you have to make to be able to press the reset button. Look, I understand this must sound crazy for you. After all you've been told, there is no cure for your condition, categorically, or it's all in your mind and you're actually fine. And you probably think what I'm telling you is impossible. I get it, but let me share this with you. If somebody tells a lie often enough and loud enough, eventually it will become an accepted truth. And you have been told lies, as have I when I was still very sick. And the reason is simple. They didn't have the answers. And some of the lies we're being told come from sources that probably have no bad intentions at all. Nevertheless, it's a lie, and it's detrimental to you. So let me tell you, my clients are achieving truly amazing results right now and have done for many years. My family have achieved them, as have I. And I will show you what it takes exactly to get out of misery get rid of symptoms, and ditch medications and associated side effects in the most effective way you can. If you stick around for the next 45 minutes, I will share these 5 shifts with you. So you know by the end of this presentation what you need so you can have vitality, energy, love and desire for life, and all it has to offer you, should you choose to. Your health is your freedom, and believe me, it is yours to claim. And at the end of this masterclass, you will know what to do. Just a few house rules before we get into the core content. This is not about a magic pill by any stretch of the imagination. If you are still after medication and some pill, this isn't going to be for you. This is also not a replacement for a consultation. But what you can achieve within a few weeks will depend on your personal circumstances, your commitment, and your openness to learn and explore and question what you've been doing. So before we get into the actual content, I want to ask you a few more questions. Does any of this sound like you? Are you constantly tired, exhausted, and maybe even burnt out, in spite of the fact that you try really hard to be fit and healthy, and you think your diet is impeccable? Do you have to call in sick often? Do you spend too much time on a couch feeling tired and miserable? And when you look in the mirror, do you really dislike what you see? And is your hair falling out at a level that's shocking you? And are your eyes sometimes so dry that your lids feel like sandpaper? And do you feel really uncomfortable because you're bloated, you have reflux, and you're probably full of gas, and you can't seem to lose weight at all? And do you have diarrhea or chronic constipation or gastroparesis? Or are you too skinny and weak? Do you have irregular menses? Your joints and muscles hurt? Do you have bouts of anxiety or panic or insomnia? And do you have mood swings that affect your love and your family life? And does all of this often make you feel guilty? And then you turn very negative on yourself. And do you feel guilty all the time because you quite simply cannot be the person you so want to be? And you get increasingly stressed when you're food shopping because you just don't know what to eat anymore and whose advice you can trust anyway. And people around you think you're making things up or possibly exaggerating. And do you find excuses not to have sex? Does it hurt, or does it entail a degree of performance pressure? And do you secretly worry that your spouse or partner are getting to a point where they might just give up on you, your relationship, and your life together? And that they're getting to the point where they really struggle with this and perhaps even had enough of making all these allowances? Or maybe you've already lost a relationship. Do you often feel like if you don't get a grip on this right now, that you might be stuck with bad chronic health problems that continue to affect you every day for the rest of your life? If this is you, I've got news for you that might surprise you, because none of these things are the real problem. Those are your symptoms, and they've just been given a label because nobody knows what the heck to do about them. And the real problem is this. First of all, you do not know the 5 shifts I'm going to talk about today and what they can actually do for you. And second, these shifts are key. They are the key to your success and getting sustainable results without the drama and the daily pain. And I'm going to walk you through all of them in 1 second. For right now, I want you to know this. Once you implement these 5 shifts completely, amazing things will happen. You will want to smile, and you'll want to dance, and you'll want to laugh, and you will no longer want to hide at home on your couch and scour website after website to find that one missing piece you think will solve everything, while doubting every step of the way if maybe, just maybe, you got this or that combination wrong. You will know what to do short term and long term to correctly engage nature to help you stay healthy, and you will no longer need to see the doctor every 2 weeks or more, only to be told that what you have has no cure and you're fine and there's nothing wrong with you, and yet you still give another pill to not cure anything. You will not be hungry, nor will you feel fearful about eating because you worry about what will happen when you do eat. You'll be able to understand why weird things have happened when you ate. And you're going to realize that your food cravings were really just bacteria tricks and never real to begin with. You will learn the truth. And you will know how to translate all the stuff you read about these diets. And you'll suddenly discover what it feels like to be confident again and feel attractive and full of energy and joy. Your sex life will transform. Your energy levels will be up. You'll be jumping out of bed full of energy and confidence. And your skin will also look better. It will look different. And you will start to feel your body differently. And you will glow, and people will take notice. And you'll fall head over heels in love with yourself and your body. And you'll also fall in love with health and how it makes you feel. So the bottom line is this. There are 5 shifts you must know to go from being in pain, discomfort, and probably despair at this point to attaining the kind of health, freedom, energy, and youthful looks you probably think are not available to you. The only difference between the people who have made that transformation a reality and you is that they have applied these 5 shifts and they live by them. And I'm going to walk you through all of them in this masterclass. So, what do the people who claim their health back know and do that everyone else doesn't? Let's dive in. Stop chasing your tail. If we keep doing the same thing in the same way, nothing will change. And this so often comes from a place of fear, but also conditioning. Most of us grew up and were taught to think that doctors know everything and can heal anything. And that's how our moms often got us to even go there without too much protest. And it's a little bit like the Father Christmas story. Eventually we understand that it's not true. But in the case of doctors, some of us still hold the belief very firm. And here's the shocker. You're probably holding your breath already. Doctors know one modality. This does not mean they know everything and can heal everything. It's a lie, and the statistics prove it. You yourself are living proof of it, as am I and all my clients. The moment we move from the side of fear to the side of courage, we see clearly and we are open to the truth. And I'm sure you've noticed this in yourself and others. A friend or a colleague may have pointed out something to you and suddenly you realize that they were right, but you would have never noticed that on your own or had the courage or inclination to question. You had made an assumption previously based on information that you have received at some point. So you're on autopilot. And our bodies often are our mind when we have been conditioned long enough. And today we know exactly how this works from the science of epigenetics. When this happens, your body makes the decision for you. As incredible as this sounds, but you are literally on autopilot. And the body takes over your conditioned response because some time ago you have made that call that this was the right thing to do, and your brain no longer wants to go through the exercise of re-evaluating this particular piece of information. And it makes perfect sense for our body to do so. Our brains are already in overload every day. And do you remember when maybe on occasion you might have lost part of a journey? You don't remember passing through a part of it, for example, but still you got there. Or you burnt yourself as a child one day, and now you automatically know and you don't go and touch fire. It is how we keep our brains from further overload, having to rerun an evaluation process for everything we've already learned. It is also how you and everybody ends up doing things over and over again without a logical explanation. We have been made this way to make our lives easier, really. But sometimes this doesn't serve us at all. It can keep us stuck where we are and going in circles. So you have to make that shift and embrace the fact that you have to stop doing what you have been doing and really reevaluate and question what you have been doing. And I say this as someone who has made the shifts, someone who has spent years and years researching and learning and pushing myself to look at things differently, to review the things I had tried once I learned what actually goes on in our brains, that the science of epigenetics. It was truly an eye-opener. When you change your mind, you change your cells. Here's what helped me to understand how we can make this work for us. When you start to change your mindset, you effectively also start to change your cells. See, all our cells have memory. They remember the negative self-talk, the state of being sick, even specific injuries from a long time ago. Think of phantom pain. It's a cell memory. So especially negative self-talk is remembered by your cells. More so if you live that emotion and that state every single day. And whatever that state is, from health to wealth, it is up to us to change how we carry on and what we want. To change them takes conscious effort and will. So I want you to make your journey to health your absolute priority. It is time to start in earnest with this today and make the journey to health your most important focus. And in doing so, you're making change possible. You're opening the door to possibility. To do this, you also need to give yourself a really good reason why you want to achieve health and make an agreement with yourself. What you're going to do once you've achieved it. So ask why and continue with, once I've done it, I will reward myself by doing whatever it is. It might be to start dating, buy that new dress 3 sizes down, go on a holiday and feel super sexy in those trunks or in the bikini, take the kids out more, go for a romantic dinner with your spouse, whatever it might be. And do not let anyone steal that dream from you. Nobody. Here's the thing. The sooner you realize that carrying on like you are is really tantamount to giving up, the sooner you can move forward successfully. So I also want you to open your eyes to reality. And here's what you should realize as you take a step back from your situation. First of all, know that you're being lied to constantly about your food and your diet. And this is a fact. And do not trust someone just because they wear a white coat or they carry a title. You know better by now. You've tried that route and it's not working out for you. And thousands of other people, I may add. And you also know where this takes you every time. More medication, no cure. The statistics I've shared with you earlier, they really speak for themselves. So many people end up in the operating theater with body parts cut out, or worse, they end up with far more problems than they went in with. Remember this simple question. If the medications we consume don't heal us, why on earth would we be taking them? Especially when you look at the side effects. If there's just one thing I want you to take away from this today, go and check the leaflets of all your prescription medications. Read them top to bottom, front to back. It will open your eyes. So start believing you're not a victim or a bystander as well. You can make your own decisions. You deserve so much better than the current status quo. You do not have to settle unless you choose to. If there are thousands of people out there who have healed, something isn't right. Even if someone in a white coat says your disease cannot be cured. At the end of the day, if you're not healthy, just remember, you lose your income ability, you lose your joy, you lose your lightness, your contributions, your everything. Don't settle because you're lost in fear and doubt and because you've been told that the doctor can heal everything. Question the belief and really challenge it. It might just prolong your life. Emotions impact your cells too. And they also have a massive impact on your immune system. How you feel and think about yourself impacts your entire life. Our emotions can make us sick and they can help us heal. And this is incredibly powerful stuff that can break up relationships and ruin careers. There are some very powerful tools you can use to help deal with these emotional issues. And you also need to understand that waiting equals making things worse for yourself. Because if you do not remove the cause for whatever it is you're suffering with, you will end up with more symptoms. It's inevitable. So it's much wiser and actually less expensive to stop wasting time trying 100 different things you come across while your body gets sicker and sicker. And lastly, stop collating all sorts of ideas and suggestions, however well intended they undoubtedly are. Mix them all together, try one after the other, and just hope for the best. if you're here listening to this, the likelihood that yet another diet change, so a keto or paleo, God forbid, or a 7-day juice fast can turn things around for you, is completely unrealistic. Some things, such as a 9-month detox on a health farm, might even give you short-term relief, but you will return to the original condition. Why? Because you have not completed the process of getting rid of all the things that have made you sick in the first place. So there has to be a plan, something concrete that you can trust and that brings results and that gives you a transformation instead of a grab bag of information, a one-size-fits-all. Repeat after me. It will not work, but you know this already. Let's talk about shift number 3, and let's take a look at something important. These are your daily routines. So it's important that you review the routines that are not useful for you right now. And let's start with sleep. Become very protective of your sleep. You know, sustained insufficient sleep leads to brain shrinkage. But what's more, it also means a reduced ability for the body to heal when we don't get enough sleep. Why? Because your metabolism changes when you sleep. The body needs rest, especially when you're already run down. Quality sleep means that the last half hour before bed, no blue lights, so no computer screens, no mobile phones, and no light at all in the bedroom, and no phones in the bedrooms. If you do this, your pineal gland is going to produce melatonin for you, which means you will have restful sleep. And if you live in a noisy area, use earplugs. But also try and stay away from fluoridated water and toothpaste. Both mess up your pineal gland, which controls, as I said, your melatonin production. Secondly, controlling stress means to consciously avoid getting into stressful situations and dealing with them as calmly as you possibly can if they do occur. Remind yourself that your body needs to heal, and your hormones you'll be releasing will push your energy towards your extremities, not towards your brain and your elimination organs, which eliminate and cleanse. Stress is also a tremendous killer of libido. See, the center for stress and libido live in the same place in the brain, in the hypothalamus, even in the same compartment. So I guess these two can only take it in turns. Your adrenal burns out when you live in constant stress, when there is no dopamine and acetylcholine to calm you down and calm down the nervous system. The adrenal produces 50 hormones, so it's an important gland. It sits on the kidney. And the kidneys are so important for elimination and therefore cleansing and detoxification. So what you can do is meditation, stretching, yoga, walking, playing with a dog or a cat when you get a chance, painting, listening to music is big, walking barefoot. That is really essential for us to do occasionally. Walking barefoot, if you've got a beach, perfect, or just a piece of grass. And all of these are de-stress strategies that are easy to find and to achieve. You may be at a stage where your adrenals are so fatigued that you have found a new home, at home on the couch. If your adrenals are down, in all likelihood, so are your kidneys. And usually that means one thing: you're going to have lymph problems. Let me talk a little bit more about exercising. And I see this all the time. Men and women are being pushed, at times even by their doctor, or they're pushing themselves into an exercise regime that is totally counterproductive for their current situation. In fact, it actually makes things worse, because chances are you're stacking another problem, which comes from an exercise regime that is made for a healthy person with a healthy gut and perfect nutrient absorption, with healthy glands and a half-decent lymph system at the very, very least. I hope this makes sense. So you can simply not expect your body to run on empty without a backlash. So again, don't go for extreme exercising unless you're 100%. What's more, if you are sick, you can severely damage your kidneys, especially when you do these extreme repetitive exercises. And again, if the kidneys are weak, your adrenals are down, you have no energy, and even if you push yourself, you cannot lose weight. But you could well be heading for a burnout. And if you're acidic, if your body's acidic, which is what you're doing when you do all these things, you're not ever going to lose fat, but you will lose bone density. So if your pituitary gland is down, it is not producing TSH, and that means your thyroid is literally on a permanent nap. Even if, and especially if, you are on thyroid medication instead, and on it goes. So really, it's just like you're whipping a starving, weak horse to keep moving and perform like a racehorse. So you need to realize that this is in essence what you're doing to yourself. Honestly, if you get this wrong, it will take you even longer to get healthy and to be able to press reset on your health, reset your body. But if you get it right, you will feed your body with oxygen to help regenerate good hormones and help it generate new cells and actually have more energy and less adrenaline and less cortisol, which puts you and your body in a position to lose that weight and to re-energize and get that healthy glow from the inside out. But it also puts you in a position to heal whatever you want to heal. For now, all you need to do is do the things that help your lymphatic system and digestion without creating more acidity, and this is key. So let's do a quick recap at this point. At this point, we know we need to stop running in circles, doing the same things over and over again and expecting a better outcome. It's time for a change in our mindset. It is about truly opening your eyes and taking responsibility and reclaiming your health on all levels, emotional, physical, and spiritual. We must avoid stacking further diseases at all cost, or it will cost dearly at a later stage. And we must make sure we create the basis for our body to be able to heal through more and better sleep, stress management, and an exercise regime that is suitable for our bodies right now. And there's one very important thing I want you to know. It is never too late to start repairing your body. But you simply must take the first step. The sooner you do, the less long it will take, and the less complications and additional diseases you're going to stack and weaken your body. So now let's look at shift number 4. And this is actually the secret weapon. It's a total reset protocol followed by usually a maintenance diet and a long-term plan. And it's really a plan that starts by eliminating all foods that are toxic to your body and that have been the cause of your inflammation and buildup of acidity over all these years in the first place. It's a very specific deep cleanse and detoxification for the entire body, plus a boost for specific organs and glands for your particular situation. So there has to be a plan that adds pure, high energy food, including some of Earth's most powerful herbs, to make the process quicker and more efficient. And if you get any one step in this process wrong, you will not be able to get true lasting results. But if you get this right, you will be creating the environment your body needs to repair itself. And what's more, to enable your body to repair on an ongoing basis and thus reclaiming your health on an ongoing basis. Because believe me, all your body really wants is to help you to make it healthy again. But you do need to know that there is no one size fits all. Everyone has different circumstances and predispositions and weaknesses and conditions, and I will talk more about that. Some of the fundamentals may well be similar, but the actual protocol has to be personal. The length of the program and the kind of foods and natural remedies used have to be personalized. There really can't be a one size fits all, which is why you struggle to find the right thing when you go looking for answers in 100 different places and off-the-shelf solutions. Let me remind you again, the longer you wait, the harder you're making it for yourself to kick disease out. So let's take a look. The way most people experience food and diets today. You may have been told, regardless of your condition or conditions, you should eat high protein, or eat vegan, or low fat and counting calories, superfoods or raw foods should be on your diet plan. Or it has to be whole grain. You should follow the blood type diet. You should follow the paleo diet. And you should follow the keto diet. And you never really know why exactly you're doing this, other than someone said it's healthy and it's this new thing we found and that you have to do. And that just causes total confusion and frustration and very many sick people, especially when you're already very sick. So now then you have, or continue to have, an upset acidic environment in your body. You have a sick gut. You've got the wrong bacteria clogged up lymphs with waste backing up in every lymph node and interstitially in your organs. And the next step then is very often to follow a general off-the-shelf protocol or a vegetable juice cleanse and some supplements, even if they make you feel unwell and probably do very little for you. Perhaps you go to the store and you pick up the healthy options, which is the dumping ground for salt and sugar, more often than not. Or you go and you buy whole grain, which is worse than white because the husks are actually the trouble. You buy full milk, you buy soy milk, coconut milk, almond milk, until you read what's in most of them. Not all of them, but most of them. And then you're finally frustrated and you are close to hating almost all food because you have no idea what to eat anymore. And you decide to eat the food you crave because conventional wisdom tells us when we crave something, we're missing something. And that is just plain wrong if you know how your immune system works. It misleads you because once it is on high alert already, it will start to send the wrong signals of the very food you should not be eating at all. So this is no solution to the problem. And then you go and you buy into a plan online that promises everything and you get elaborate recipes for a month, a bunch of powders of sorts possibly, and you're sent on your merry way. And there's no follow-up. We're talking about all the issues that really affect you. All the while your symptoms get worse, or you might have even added another one, and that's just no result. And you may then start into buying everything gluten-free, thinking it's the way to go. But again, you find it's full of preservatives and worse, it's full of sugars. So you might as well put back in the grains because you're replacing bad with worse. And then you're finally desperate and you go back to the doctor, the naturopath, the chiropractor, the dentist, and you get medications and you hope for the best. So you go home with more medications. And this time you might even go home with a probiotic or a curcumin, which really does nothing for you right now. And you're so frustrated because it's the same action, same result. And it's a zero result strategy for throwing things against the wall to see what sticks. But it's also actually a way of continuing to use your body like a car and take it to be serviced when it breaks down. And that equals not understanding and not being able to understand what is happening in your body and what you can really do about it. You see, the way I look at our bodies is that they're the house in which our soul has found a home. It carries us around. It gives us all these worldly experiences, which we obviously could not have had without it or could have without it. But we forget it and we so often take it for granted. We feel, we hear, we taste, we smell, we love, we touch, we move, we breathe with our bodies, and so much more. So the new way of thinking about food when you have one or more chronic diseases especially, you need to find out what do all these different diets actually do for your body right now. Is it going to help you get rid of symptoms, heal even? Or is it just another fad diet du jour for everyone to follow? Is it just another generic diet really? And what's more, is it actually damaging your body? And to find that out, you need to know, what does your body need from you? What is it actually telling you? Is the food on the plan species appropriate? Are there some powerful helpers that can be used in the process of elimination and cleansing and healing serious conditions? Is it powerful enough to really cleanse in depth and remove the damage caused by the wrong foods you've been consuming over the years, by the chemicals you put in your home and on your skin, your lifestyle, your medications, by your genetic blueprint? Is the food energetically strong enough to draw out all the backed up sewer from the lymphs that have been causing you so much pain and discomfort? And will it help heal any of the other organs? And ask yourself, who do you want to trust to go through a professional deep cleanse with? Do you want an ineffective, temporary, possibly damaging solution, or do you really want to know what works and why? And just finally go and do it. So here are a few tips. Ask the person you're considering working with, do they have a plan for your condition and you personally? How much access do you have to ask questions or get help during the process? And what do they use to assess where you are at? Do they know how to use iridology and sclerology, for example, to be able to interpret what is really going on in your body. Do they look at just a part of the body? Do they use chemicals? Do they have a good explanation as to what has really happened to you and why? And why the things you tried actually didn't work? Will they teach you what to do going forward? And once you learn all this from an expert, it puts you back in the driving seat. You make the decision about what happens to the food you eat. Now, and once you have pressed reset too, so even long term. Keep in mind that the more prepared you are to really look at the things that are staring us in the face and that are actually confirmed over and over again by National Geographic, for example, and even the World Health Organization, and confirmed by our current health or sickness statistics rather, the better it will be. We're being told so much nonsense about our food. We keep eating food that is not species appropriate. It's foreign to our bodies, and that is why so many of us are sick, and many of us are even dying from it. In fact, I will make another video about this topic soon. You know, I see the adverts for supplements every day on Facebook and elsewhere, and it is mind-boggling what is being sold to you. But you know, once you've gone through a true deep tissue detox, you will know what I'm talking about. You will feel it because you will want to ditch all the medication and the supplements, and you will rediscover health. And you will not need a probiotic or curcumin, which so many doctors now flaunt. You will actually get to love your body. You get to reconnect with it and understand what foods kill it, and by extension kill you, quite frankly. So in short, what needs to happen is this. If you're here today listening to me, I actually have no doubt that you need to embark on a personalized deep detox protocol to get you back to health well. Why? Just alone by sheer statistics, because it is estimated that 80% of Americans struggle with a toxic, acidic environment in their body. And that includes your brain, by the way. So, you know, we can see toxicity and acidity, especially in the eyes, but also spider veins, and the veins generally speaking, skin, hair, nails, teeth, and posture, the way someone walks and moves even. If you have a chronic condition or more than one, you will either do such a program now or you're going to stack problems and make it harder for yourself. There's no way around that. And once the detox is done, you need a roadmap that will avoid you returning back to where you are currently. You should never ever again have to chase from one latest fad to the next, or let yourself be fooled, tricked, and confused by the food industry and the pharma business, and probably totally unwittingly a doctor. So let's move on to shift number 5. Transform your health with the best support. If you've been struggling to get the results you really want, and you don't have those results yet, it means you do not have that health and support. You know what is missing for you. It's a personalized plan that gets you from A to B in a step-by-step process, prepared for you, so you do not have to stress over everything, question everything, and never really get to the answer or the bottom of it all. A plan which has as its goal restoration and repair, especially when you're in a degenerative stage. So do you currently have someone who will talk you through the steps, explain what happens every step of the way and why? And if what is happening is normal or not? And what to eat and what to supplement naturally. No isolated vitamins, so you don't block or slow down detox. Where to get real natural supplements. Someone who can tell you what to look for and how to be able to analyze what glands and organs you need to repair and what that means in terms of a personalized plan. Someone who actually really checks in with you regularly to see how you are, to answer questions and to speak to almost every week. Someone who supports you when you worry or you're fearful about how your body is changing and about what you're eating. And if what you're experiencing is okay. You need someone who can show you the way. And even if that is not me, you need to get help if you suffer from any of the conditions we're talking about here today. So this leads me to the question you probably have at this point. How do you tell if you're in good hands? How do you choose a great coach? Well, first and foremost, ask yourself, do you like the person you would be working with for the next few weeks? Do they know what they're talking about? And are you comfortable to go with what they recommend? Or will it force you into a long-term lifestyle you really don't want? Do they get results? Or do they just repeat what everyone else is doing? Are there any kind of chemicals involved in this? And do they offer a long-term view? Do they offer the necessary combination of these three things? One, world-class support. Really look for someone who offers you support. Somebody also who offers you a personalized step-by-step health plan. And someone who also offers emotional support and coaching on an ongoing basis. If you cannot get real answers from your current support, whatever it might be, just work with someone who can help you and someone who knows what needs to be done. And don't let anyone hold you back or steal that dream of being healthy. Ask yourself, how many days were ruined last week, last month, maybe last year even, by not being healthy? What did it really cost you to not be healthy on all levels? If you were not happy, it's time for a new mindset, a new plan, and accountability. And don't just give up and become one of the statistics I mentioned earlier. But here's some more statistics for you that you should really be aware of. Allopathy and prescription drugs currently kill anywhere between 500,000 and 1 million people each year in the US, depending which reports you believe. In America, every man, woman, and every child gets 10 teaspoons of prescribed pure antibiotics each year. 4 million cases in the US are reported to have been given antibiotics unnecessarily for sore throat alone. And did you know that a single dose of an antibiotic reduces your gut microbiome by 70 to 90%? And did you also know that what is being called microbiome is actually the master of your hormones? So our healthcare system is clearly not equipped to deal with our health issues and really help us get our life back, claim our health and our vitality back, and neither are any of the current pop diets. This is a serious matter, and if I just don't think it is good enough, and it's a good idea to try out every fad to see if maybe, just maybe, this one works. I want you to really get a handle on how much you've spent and how much you've lost on not being healthy. Put a number on it and add all the plans and online programs and the cookbooks and the self-help books, the cheap food plans and diets, and the visits to the doctors, the blood tests, any healers you may have seen, supplements that are half full in your cabinet, tubs of all sorts of powders to make smoothies with, for example. And then add to that all the other hidden costs. And with hidden costs, I mean things such as lost days because you felt crap, missed family outings you can never ever bring back again, a job promotion that you might have missed out on, going to a course you always wanted to do, travel with your friends. Add it all up. Put it on a sheet of paper. Put it somewhere you see it every day and ask yourself every day, is this all I want from my life? And if the answer is no, it really is time to stop doing things over and over again, the same things over again. I get that you're wondering right now, could all this really help me? And I can really appreciate that. You know, others have felt the same way you do right now. But here's what they found to be true. Unless you take a first step and speak to me and ask me questions, you don't know. You just do not know. You know, today, Richard, a client of mine, is amongst those who took courage. He had had chemotherapy. His kidneys and adrenals were down. He felt awful and lethargic, just going through the motions, really. And I think he had given up a little bit. But he joined Reset Your Body, and he's only halfway through the program. His symptoms are all gone. His doctor even asked him what he's doing because his health has turned around so dramatically, and that he, the doctor, wants to know what diet he's on and if there's anything else he is on. Or Simona, she had hypothyroidism and she had sibo and over 20 different symptoms. She's off her medication completely. She promptly got a job promotion after we finished the program, and she'll never have to look back. Or Maria, she had thyroid and parathyroid issues, adrenal fatigue, kidney issues, and she just couldn't lose weight. She also had bad skin. She had intestinal tract issues, and also a list of other symptoms. They're all gone. She rewarded herself with a new wardrobe, a trip to a makeup artist, and she went to a professional photo shoot. Do you know, for none of them, it was easy to trust that this would really work for them. So you see, you're not alone. But every journey starts with a single step. Let this be yours. So I'd like to take a quick look back with you over what we've covered today. Today, what I promise to show you is this. What you really need to know and do to overcome thyroid malfunction, adrenal fatigue, Hashimoto's, Graves', Sjogren's, and any other autoimmune diseases, a backed up lymph system, and hormone imbalances, and all the associated symptoms that go hand in hand with these, and especially if you've lived with them for 2, 3, 5, or even 20 years. I promise to tell you the best strategies to find the best things for feeding your body, your mind, and your soul when you are in dis-ease. I told you the truth about medications and supplements and what they do and what they do not do. So let's just summarize what you need to win. Stop chasing your tail, repeating the same things and still expect a new outcome. Sleep more, reduce and control stress. Reduce your stress hormones that throw everything else out of kilter, and go for those gentle exercises. It's all about truly opening your eyes and taking responsibility and reclaiming your health on all levels, emotional, physical, spiritual. And you must avoid stacking further diseases at all costs, or it will cost you dearly at a later stage. Get yourself on a professional detoxification plan. Take control and give this your all. You know what you need to do so you do not end up being a part of a sinister statistic. Claim your life back. Reset your body. Get the best possible support to get you through this once and for all, without the daily torment and doubts if you finally did crack that code. These shifts alone are enough to propel you to a completely different way of thinking about your health forever. The way we all look at getting rid of chronic disease is changing forever, because it quite simply has to. So now you have a choice. You may still think that you can take all this information and decide to forget about it. You may think you can keep using the cheap or free on the internet strategies that just don't work. And you can keep focusing on collating all sorts of information that doesn't serve you. It hasn't in the past, it doesn't now, nor will it do in the future. You can keep on struggling with your health issues, and you can decide to waste your life, to not be able to contribute to your family, or really experiencing your life, truly be in your life instead of being marginalized and defined by your condition. Perhaps you tell yourself you can keep on wasting time and money on the zero result strategies and forego your own life. And you can continue to second guess and doubt if what you're doing may eventually pay off, maybe one day. And you may tell yourself that it's okay for your family and loved ones to see you suffering, or put up with your sickness, quite frankly, and how it impairs you and them. But we both know that this would be a match to Einstein's definition of insanity, when you keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect a different outcome. The only big problem is that you will probably not be able to stay where you are, and you will end up stacking one problem on top of the next. But you know, if this is what you've decided, that this is all you want from your life, you need to go ahead. It is still crazy. Or you can finally draw a line in the sand here and now today, and you decide to make the changes you already know you need to be making, naturally, without poisoning yourself every day with medications that just don't make you healthy. You can decide here and now that you're done with all this BS and that you want to free yourself of pain, discomfort, hormone superstorms, burnt out adrenals, seized up joints, hair loss, cramps, getting heavier, bad skin, having no sex life, no intimacy or connection whatsoever, and constantly being at the doctor's, or worse, the hospital, with IVs, antibiotics, painkillers that eventually suck the life out of you and quite frankly kill you. All those things that kill your cells totally zap you of your vitality and rob you of your life. Instead, you can choose right here and now that you want something different for yourself. You want a healthy life full of excitement and joy with the people that you love and who also love you. You can turn your life around. You can make all the changes you've been chasing for so long and do the things you've been waiting for and dreaming about. And you know, if this is what you truly want, I'm offering you something special. I've set aside some time in the next 3 days to speak to you personally about how all of this translates to your situation. Whatever challenges you're facing, I will have seen them and will help you understand what you need to do to overcome them. So we'll get on the phone for about 45 minutes, and on this session, we will discuss what you need to do to achieve your health goals. And we'll dive deep into the issues you feel are the most pressing. We'll talk about your symptoms, how they affect you, what you've tried and why it didn't work. And you'll get clear on what you actually really want to do and what you need to do going forward. And the cost? It's free. However, there is a catch. Let me tell you who this is for, and I want to make this perfectly clear. You must have a condition or conditions that you truly want to finally get rid of, and that are linked to lymphatic and or hormonal health or autoimmune diseases with any of the symptoms that I mentioned here today. And you must also be open to changing the beliefs and behaviors about really getting help and work through your fears. Please know that any advice you receive is not a replacement for a protocol. You also must be determined to embrace what it takes to shift that condition once and for all, and to engage someone who knows exactly what you need to do. And if that is you, I want you to book that session to talk with me right now. But let's talk about why I'm doing this. You may be wondering what the catch is here. Look, the reason why I do this is simply that, first and foremost, I love helping people find a way out of symptom hell and to get their vitality back, however long they might have been sick. This is exactly what gets me out of bed each and every day. It is my life purpose. Plus, let's face it, I know that you might want to engage me to help you and for you to get access to my expertise to transform your health, just like I've done with my clients before you. And if this is what you want, we can talk about it on the call and see if it's a good fit for both of us. And if we're not, that's fine too. But I promise you, you will get tremendous value on the call, and you will get answers about why what you've been doing is not working, and also what it does take to have true impact. It will change how you think about getting well. So if you want to book a call with me, I invite you to go to danielarweiss.com/apply. Spaces are limited, so book now. It will be the best hour you spend talking about your health. And I'm also going to try and make a button appear here. Click on that button, and when you do, you will be taken to a calendar. On that calendar, pick Discovery Call. Choose a date, choose the best time slot for you, grab that and book that time for yourself. You'll then be asked a few questions to help us both prepare for the call. And this is really important. Please make sure you check your email. You will receive all the call information in that email. And you might need to check your promotional folder or your spam straight away to make sure you mark our communications as clean. So white label us. And this is really important. Please know that people love these sessions, and you're going to love it too. You're going to get so much value out of your session. So remember, you have a choice right now. I have shown you what the future can be if you make the right decision. And I hope you can see that those who choose to change the way they think about finding a way to health will thrive. And those who don't will stay a statistic. I want you to be one of the people to win. Win at getting your health back in the shortest possible amount of time and finally get your life back on track. So go to that link, danielarweiss.com/apply, and grab your spot. Please remember that the times we're able to offer are truly limited. There are only so many hours in the day. So book your call for yourself right now. The calendar does fill up. Make sure you grab your spot. I'm Daniela Weiss. Thank you for coming to this webinar, and I look forward to speaking to you very soon.